God, I cannot. Oh, Elwood, are
Hmm?
you around?
Yes,
Did you
I'm here.
did you move my books from the? Did you move the books in my office? Because I was looking for.
Why would I do that?
Well, I don't know. You're the one reorganizing the library.
The library, not your study.
I mean, I suppose, but like there are bookshelves that are part of the broader library up there. I
Which books are you looking for?
mostly ones on infectious diseases.
I have most definitely not touched those. I have been sorting this section, which is entirely on handcrafts and such. Why would I?
I see. Okay, so it's not in the. Where are my books then?
How am I supposed to know that? With all due respect, I feel
I
like that
don't.
is
I.
yours to.
Okay, yes, that's
I
fair.
feel like
But
you have a problem with jumping down of things.
I think I'm wonderful at jumping. I have a problem with landing. But
Actually, I'll take that. I'll take that point.
um, sorry, I'm just not used to the changes in the library. I sort of had
That's fair.
memorized where a lot of things were, and now things are not there. So
Sorry, I promise the catalog will be ready soon, and then you can reference that whenever you're looking for something.
no, it's. Sorry, you can take your time. I understand it's a large project. I'm just not entirely used to it. I feel. Um,
Fair.
hmm.
Speaking of
Would,
speaking of being in the library and it being a big project, did what on
yes.
earth were you all doing like a couple nights ago? I was up here. I was trying to get some stuff done. I couldn't sleep, and there was just
Oh,
infernal yelling down by the lower islands. I could not hear exactly what was going on, but
we
there was a lot of shrieking.
we were collecting samples.
Samples?
Let's go with that.
That
Yes.
does not inspire confidence in the slightest, Virgil.
Um. Okay, we were trapping creepers in boxes.
Why on earth would you
Okay,
need creeper samples?
you're going to get very mad at me for 2 seconds for what I'm about to do,
Oh,
and I'm going to
goodness.
pick it up before it causes any damage to the books.
Alright. Goodness gracious. What is wrong with
This
that
is Dante.
creature?
I don't
Hello, Dante.
entirely know.
It's not supposed to look like that, is it?
No,
That
it's
is.
not.
That is
We've
worrying. You're also going to lose him. He keeps falling down more steps.
yes, he's falling. He's very wriggly.
Yes, I.
There is
He's some
something.
nude creature. That makes sense.
mm, We've started calling it void sickness.
Ah,
We first noticed it infecting creepers and spiders, I think. The We're not entirely sure what it is, but it was only hostile mobs, and then
that is
it wasn't, and then I found it on Dante, and
that is
we're not entirely sure.
concerning. That is concerning to say the least.
No, yes, incredibly. So Ruden had the idea to try and run some experiments on seeing how it develops, and so we needed mobs that we could test it on, because we weren't entirely sure how to test it on an axolotl. So
And you chose
creepers
creepers?
in boxes.
The
Well, that's
mob
where it seemed
that
the most prominent.
explodes?
Yes, and trust me, they
Goodness
exploded a
gracious.
lot. Quite
Yes,
a bit.
I heard
Very.
so.
Yes, I had to hide in a house that I haven't seen before.
A house?
There was a box. Yes, there's a little cottage down on the island beside the library.
I believe that
And
was
then
mine.
oh
If it had just the one room, then that was mine. That I built with your brother,
yes,
actually. They insisted on a frankly absurd amount of pillows and blankets, but it does get cold, I
hmm,
suppose.
hmm. I mean, it's a very nice house. It's great for
Thanks.
hiding from creepers.
As long as you
But
didn't bring a
we got
creeper
it.
in there, that would be quite
No, no,
upsetting.
no, no, no. Of course. But we trapped some in some boxes out by my new office, and
You made a new one.
yes, to sort of you pointed out how the mind map was not exactly in the cleanest condition. So I have somewhere else for that to sort of separate that research from the library.
Makes sense.
Hello?
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 Goodness gracious.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
Sorry, welcome to the library.
Hi.
It's a pleasure.
I could say the same. I'm looking for Virgil, I think.
Well, you've been successful.
Yes, hello. That would be me. Do I know you? Or I suppose you
No,
don't.
sorry. I
me.
did realize I am wearing full armor.
No, yeah, it's sorry, a little bit disconcerting. I'm getting used to it. There are people that tend to wear it around.
Yeah. No, you don't know me, but I've heard your name around. I'm Armor.
Oh, I have also heard your name around.
Okay.
Yes, Vas and I spoke about things. Yes, well, it's
Okay.
nice to meet you. How can I help?
I could say the same. Hi.
Hi,
What's
Elwood.
your name?
Elwood Kirchhoff.
Elwood. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you both. I had questions about void sickness. Whatever is happening with the creepers.
Good.
I've just called it that
Yes.
because I've noticed it more on the lower islands, and that's just where the void is.
No, yes,
I
that's
just,
sort of
that's
what
just
we've taken to calling it.
okay.
Yes, I think questions about void sickness is sort of going around.
Apparently.
I wish I had concrete answers. I'm sort of working on that right now. I was actually discussing with Elwood about finding some books on diseases and the spread of them. I'm currently part of a broader experiment, sort of studying
Yeah.
it.
I did
Yes.
see that.
Ah. Yes.
Did you leave your research area out in the open?
I didn't want to bring the creepers into a house.
Well, that makes sense, but
they're-
add a
in a
fence
box.
around it. They're in a box.
I didn't
Goodness
build
gracious.
the boxes. I just led them in there.
Goodness gracious. You have no regard for organization. Next I find out you have no regards for safety, apparently.
I have plenty of regards for safety. We used glass that they can't see through, and they're in the ground.
The way you jump
very
down
safe.
the stairs would say otherwise.
Okay.
I
yeah,
have not seen any books on diseases. I've not sorted through everything yet, though. I've been mostly organizing that section, which is mostly handworking techniques and such. Not entirely
Okay.
sure where they would be.
You said you noticed it more.
Yeah, the creepers and spiders. But I heard you have an axolotl that's being affected?
Yes. This is Dante. Oh, he's very friendly.
Oh.
He's not exactly in the best condition, and he seems to love trying to go down the stairs for some reason.
Maybe don't do that.
Yes. Yeah. He is unfortunately.
Is he eating okay? Like,
For the most part, he's. I mean, slower than he was, and hasn't been as moving around as much. But he's eating fine. His water is still circulating fine. He, apart from sort of slowing down, doesn't seem to be in any pain. So I'm just sort of monitoring it,
well,
similar to
good.
the creepers. We're sort of waiting to see what a next step might be in that broader experimentation phase.
Yeah. Sorry, just I don't do well with experimentation talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So just-
I didn't mean to.
Objectively speaking, it is probably the smartest way to figure out whatever the hell is going on with that void sickness thing. Not to diminish your feelings, just
I mean, no.
musing.
If it makes me feel better, it's sort of less
I
experimentation
feel-
at this stage and more observation.
Yeah, I also feel better knowing it's on creepers and not people. So
I mean,
Oh no,
naturally,
I would.
experimenting on
not,
people serves
um,
no purpose. Unless, I guess it is a clinical trial run, which is done with informed consent.
Elwood.
well, informed consent is the key word
seem
there.
to have misstepped. I apologize.
It's okay. Informed
So,
consent was the key word there. It's all right.
Yes. Sorry, I'm now remembering Vast did mention discussing research with you. Sorry.
What, did she mention that I'm sensitive about it?
Just that I should not open off the back with the fact that I'm doing research and experiments on certain things like void sickness or
It's okay.
I
I mean, it is more like observation, like the both of you said. And again, not on people. So I don't.
yeah.
It's
well,
it's
that's-
okay. It's okay.
If you're sure, yes. Actually, speaking of, you were part of the Avocane, correct?
Yes. How many people has
Sorry,
Vast
did I
told without my
overstep that?
knowledge?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
could
I just don't know how much Vast has told you, and I don't know how many people
Not-
they've told.
Mostly just that, really.
Okay.
I sort of. It's difficult to explain without showing you the board.
Are we talking about the
I-
new or old one? Because the old one is not going to make it any easier to
The
understand.
new one, the old one, is not going to make me any help.
Also,
have-
should I know
I-
what that Avocane thing is? Or was that an insensitive thing to ask? And should I just
Sorry?
pretend I didn't ask it? Should I know what the Avocane
Ah.
are, or is that an insensitive question that I should better pretend I didn't ask in the first place?
Well, I mean, you live here. There's a couple of ex-members around here. I think you should probably know a little bit.
I could fill you in late, or a couple.
Well, yeah, me and
I thought it was.
Vast. And...
Yeah. Okay, I suppose two is. That's fair. Yes.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. The way you said it implied there were more, and I was. Sorry. I'm. Learning about things, perhaps slower than I would have anticipated, but also learning bits and pieces more thoroughly than I expected. It's an interesting thing to stumble in on from the outside, and I might have some questions to ask you about it at some point.
Okay.
I'm trying to piece a lot together. Sorry.
I can't promise that I'll have an answer, but I can try.
That's fair enough. I respect that. But
You mentioned a board?
yeah, sort of a board or a mind map. I mean, I suppose I could take the two of you over to show it if you would be prepared to leave the library. It's
As long as it's not too far a fly, as long as it's walkable.
Oh yes.
Not much of
Mostly
a flyer.
from the.
Do you also not
Fair.
fly?
Not when I can avoid it.
Oh, that's fair.
I suppose we certainly can.
presume you saying also means you have met the inventor person, Rune.
Well, I've met Rune, and you know Mojave's got some messed up.
Yes,
wings
well, that is their own
happening.
fault now, isn't it? Sorry, I should not take the
Okay.
lead. I do not know where to go.
Did
No,
I
you're all right. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
did I say
I know
something wrong?
Mojave is.
No. Mojave and I are currently not exactly on speaking terms. Let's leave it at that.
Oh, wait, Elwood. I've heard your name.
In the sense
I have
of
heard your name. Just like in passing.
Ah,
Just mentioned. I didn't connect those. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't connect those dots. That's
why
my
are you
fault.
apologizing for something you did not know? That does not seem very rational.
Well, I don't know. It's just a thing I do sometimes.
It's fine. So, you have a new study area, you said.
I have an office or a I don't really know what else to call it. It's not exactly a business per se, but I don't really know what to call it. Somewhere else, a more private space.
Oh.
But
Oh, this is right by the creepers. Isn't it?
yes, just over there is where we're currently working on things. Rune suggested we maybe make it a little closer to things happening. But please come in. Would either of you like some coffee or
Goodness
anything?
no. Goodness no.
Um,
Not for me, thanks.
But this is sort of what I'm working on
Well,
in
that
regards
is
to
certainly more
the
effective.
Avocane and everything else, because it all seems to come back to them at this point.
Oh, you know about Viviana, huh?
Bits and pieces. I know that she is here and that she is dangerous.
Yeah, good. Stay away from her.
And yes, that's sort of all I've been told at this point.
This is.
Um,
There's a lot here.
yes, I have a lot of questions at the moment, and every time I figure something else out or am given more information, it just sort of raises more questions. And in the
Such is
nicest
the way of
possible-
learning.
Yes, I suppose. In the nicest way possible, your presence really only adds a lot more, I suppose.
Oh,
As does
I'm sorry.
the void sickness.
Goodness.
No, it's good. It's helping me compartmentalize things. I really should start adding something for void sickness as well. I don't know how it's related, but at this stage it feels odd for something to not be.
I mean, we notice it a lot more coming from the lower islands. Maybe it's something to do with.
Essentially,
I don't know.
I mean,
Like a lack of magic in the area or something. I don't know.
I mean, it could be a lack of magic. The lower islands. I mean, I don't have proof that they are slowly sinking, but
I would hope not. I live there.
I mean, I
Well,
mean,
that
I
would
hope
be
not, but
unfortunate
not
for
in a way that's noticeable, but in the way that the plates would shift over time, a sort of very
Sort of
gradual drawing down of
how-
gravity.
How mountains used to form
Yes,
over time.
exactly. Just barely noticeable shifts in the geography of the islands.
I mean,
but-
that would logically make sense, I suppose.
But moving closer, as you said, it's noticed more down by the lower islands. I found him on one of the lowest islands that exists or that I can find nearby.
Yeah, and there are more down there. I've been instructed to keep an eye on them and make sure they don't do this, but
I see.
So you're on
It certainly
mute
has-
watch?
yeah, I'm on the creature watch apparently.
Critter watch. But it certainly seems to be connected to a presence of the void in I don't know if it's prolonged exposure or, I mean, the fact that creepers and mobs higher up on the islands are also being affected certainly isn't promising.
Could it be contagious?
We're not entirely
Like,
sure.
between...
I mean, I certainly hope not. It's part of what we're trying to monitor with some of the creepers, whether or not it does spread and how it spreads. It certainly spreads within an individual. It grows and takes over more of the body. Essence harvested from creepers who are more infected is somewhat less potent. The fight crystals made from it aren't as strong, don't provide as much lift.
That's curious.
I don't really know.
Did you put a comparison creeper with the other ones? One that's entirely uninfected?
Not yet. We haven't really been able to find one that's entirely uninfected.
Well, that does not bode well. I was supposed to say
No,
that would be a
it
good way
does
to
not.
monitor if it's if it is contagious, but well, that does not bode well.
I mean, I'm certain there are some. I've seen them in the past few weeks, just not around here, that we can sort of reliably put into an observation chamber.
Containment unit.
Yes, I suppose that term would work for it.
Sorry, I get very...
No, it's all right.
I have a tendency to get very technical with terms.
No, that's is
That feels more positive when talking about this sort of thing. Getting the correct terminology, I mean.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I like doing
it's
it,
a
but yeah.
strong word.
Fair point, I suppose.
Accurate, perhaps. Positive is more
Yes,
better.
subjective.
that is a better word. I see you employed several different string colors this time.
Yes, I have more of a system now.
It definitely looks more
green is
readable.
sort of things that I know for sure, and blue is just general connections, and red is things that I don't entirely know how they do connect, but I know that they do. This is more of a unanswered questions.
Most of those, huh?
Yeah, most yes.
Well,
Yeah, most of it is red.
Well, the lack of scratch mark makes it definitely more readable.
That's true.
scratch
yes.
marks?
That was supposed to be a joke. Relating to the previous mind map.
My brother and I got into hustle about previous research.
Pietro, right?
Yes, Pietro.
Okay.
They're an owl. I don't know if you've encountered them. They're
Haven't met,
a bit scarce
have
these days.
heard.
I see. They're yes, likewise, helping Vast with some of her personal missions at the moment.
I mean, you can ask me if you need. You said you might have some, so
That's fair. I mean, mostly I'm working on the ritual that hypothetically transforms a person into an avian.
The excuse
Well-
what?
Sorry, I'm realizing that I have not informed you of much in the last few weeks.
Well, to be fair, I was mostly buried in books.
True.
Obelisks are not just mythological?
no, they very
that's
much exist.
Well, that is
I
certainly
don't-
interesting. I operated under the assumption that they were fictional.
No,
So did I.
They exist.
There's I was going to say there's a book that I should show you, but I don't know where the book went. Vast took it back when we were on stabbing terms, and
When you were on excuse me,
it's
what?
gone. Don't
Stabbing terms?
They tried to stab me. in my sleep, and then I was in a bunker for a while, and then I
You
tried
were-
to stab them. It's water under the island. It's fine.
Oh,
I do not want you to
Um,
say again that
okay.
you have good self-preservation. In a bunker.
This is sort of a cave more than a.
I mean, I
Bunker.
suppose if someone were out to stab you, that is actually very smart. I'll take back the comment on your self-preservation. All right.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate it,
obelisks
but
are real.
obelisks are real.
Someone tried to
they are
stab
fueled.
you, but you're no longer on stabbing terms.
I think that we would tentatively be considered friends now.
Oh, good.
I'm not entirely clear.
That
I'm
is-
not great at making friends in general, so I don't know if that is the point. At what point we would term that, but
Well, do not ask me for
Well,
a point of
maybe-
reference. That's Mojave's strength. Decidedly not mine.
I see.
Well, I think you're doing pretty okay. At least it's friendly.
Past data would
Exactly,
indicate
yes.
otherwise. So, okay, all right. There is a mysterious
I mean,
illness.
Mojave seems quite friendly.
I suppose they are. All right, so obelisks are
I
real.
feel like I touched a nerve.
There's
Obelisks
a
are real.
stabby person
They are
around,
fueled.
There's an illness, and all of that
Yes.
connects to the sorceress.
Yes. I don't entirely know how.
That is
The sorcerers
interesting.
presumably created the obelisks, but I don't believe they intended for them to need to be fueled by the magic which is inherent in avians. Because avians seem to have some kind of inherent magic that allows for flight. That's why you can make flight crystals out of feathers. There's something
Yes,
within
that is
the
what I
avian
usually
genetics.
consider the metaphorical grain of sand in the legends about magic. That is the one like core of truth. I suppose I have to rethink on a few of them, since apparently those are not fictitious, but
I
if
could show you potentially at some point.
that might be of
The obelisk.
interest.
I would have to ask some people if that's okay.
If
But,
I'd have to fly, I might have to pass. As intriguing as that is,
That's fair.
not much of a flyer. So your theory
That's fair.
your theory is that void sickness can either pertain to where the islands are located or magic, or potentially both? Did I understand that correctly?
Potentially both very, very tentatively.
Noted.
It seems to
I'll-
be forming from a lack of magic.
Wouldn't it affect
if-
non-magic individuals and creatures then? I don't follow how creepers
mean-
who contain magical essence would. I'm gonna keep an eye out when I
Axolotls
continue.
don't.
Yes, I suppose. I'm going to
And
keep
progress
my eye
it's-
out
it's
on.
making
Neither
on the
do spiders.
axolotls. It's true.
I'm trying to rack my brain if I've seen any books so far that pertain to that. I don't think I have, though. I'm going to keep my eyes out, obviously.
Yes, I would appreciate
Mm.
it.
That is disconcerting, at least.
It seems to spread faster on non-magical things. I mean, obviously, we don't have a sample of an infected avian, and God forbid we ever do. But axolotls and spiders seem to succumb quicker to whatever it is. The sickness behaves. I don't know if it's a pathogen or an infection. I would have to monitor blood samples more closely, and I can't exactly get those from a creeper.
I'm not entirely sure. Do they have blood?
I don't know. They're quite fibrous
Yes.
in their being.
I'll admit I am a bit out of my depth here. I am decidedly better with books and stories than biological test samples, but
Yeah, I'm not exactly a scientist myself. I am barely a researcher at this point. I'm just trying to investigate things.
Hmm.
But this is sort of where I'm at. But if you could provide light on, I mean, that is the
The
other.
ritual you were talking about?
Yes, because if
Yeah, you sure picked the right guy for that. 1 second.
oh
There are guys outside,
yes,
and they're
sorry.
very loud.
I could hear them. I need to light it up out here a bit more. Would you like a hand? Oh no,
They're
never
very
mind.
noisy.
Mm. If avians possess an inherent magic, and for the sake of discussion, non-avian beings possess less, I can see how there would be a process of transferring that magic into a being, but how exactly that would create an avian is I don't know. It shouldn't be possible. I mean, we're talking about growing additional limbs.
I mean, you've got a pretty good, subject to look at here. These
I
aren't
didn't
natural.
say anything. I didn't want to say anything. Is that I didn't know if you could ask. You
It's okay. I am unfortunately a victim of the ritual.
ah I
It's
I'm very sorry.
it's not great. Is there a specific question that you want me to answer first?
Um, if magic is siphoned, is it stored somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
In
Good. That's good to know.
there is a specific type of crystal that stores it, but they're very hard to get your hands on. And
It does.
I
come
would
back to
even
crystals.
say,
There's something about
yeah, I would.
the structure of crystals that does channel it.
I
don't
would
know. Something about
even
the motion
say
structure.
if you're not advocating, it's impossible to get your hands on it or even see it.
Noted. Okay. Do they grow it themselves, like lab-grown crystals, manufactured?
I believe so. I just gave Rune a bunch of notes on some of them. So some of them
I
are
see.
grown, some of them are flash formed, some of them are changed.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Do you know how the process of applying that magic to another person would go? Is it a direct transfer? Is it sort of stored and applied? Sorry, this feels like a lot of questions. I just
It's okay. Well, in my case, you might notice I've got some not so avian parts.
Yes, I didn't want to necessarily say that you are mildly reptilian, but
Yeah,
yes.
you're correct. I am part lizard. Um it's I'm trying to word correctly.
No, that's take your time. I imagine this is
Not easy.
complicated.
Yeah.
And
It
you don't have to tell me if this is hard. I don't need answers at
crystals
the cost of your comfort.
The crystals are charged using avian energy, which means taking the lives of avians and storing that in said crystal. And then it can be transferred and bonded to someone using sigils.
Sigils.
So the energy
as
can't be
in
transferred.
Writing a specific language or something, I presume. Noted.
You're
tattoos.
Virgil. You're close. Yeah, you're close with Rune. You know more about that, but it's to do with that. Yeah.
Sorry?
Well, I assume you've seen it on his jacket. Yeah. The writing.
Oh, that was writing.
I didn't.
And if you've seen
that's writing.
If you've seen the obelisk, the symbols on that.
I never necessarily connected that the symbols on Rune's jacket were the writing on the obelisk. Why does Rune know about the writing?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a question for Rune, I suppose. So you can't remove the magic from someone without killing them. Hence, the magpies.
I believe you're going to have to catch me up on a lot of things after this conversation.
Yes,
is
sorry.
over. You know what?
There's a lot.
There are magpies that aren't magpies, and that's why I couldn't speak to them. Do you have a horde of kingfishers that follow you around by any chance?
Not
Just out of curiosity.
kingfishers. I have lizards.
Oh, is that that's what those are?
I
saw some of them.
I have guys.
Okay, that explains why I've seen those around. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to pretend it does.
Are the lizards also not lizards?
I don't know.
I suppose we can't exactly tell.
I don't ask.
That's
fair.
Fair.
This makes sense. Giovanni was supposedly looking for ways that you could remove magic without killing someone. That's what Pietro learned about and was helping Vast with. And if it is possible,
that would be a vast question.
I wonder if transferring magic in some way could be used to reverse void sickness.
That's a good question.
Wouldn't you have to figure out the cause of the sickness, though? It seems like
yes.
it seems like a logical option. Just maybe don't go around experimenting with it until you know it's going to.
Oh no! I feel like it would be far too risky to just jump into something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a good question nonetheless.
Yes, you might want
theory,
to add
perhaps.
that to your mind map.
Yes, it seems like I have a lot that I might need to add to the mind map after this conversation.
Perhaps you can use.
I am so sorry.
No, it's wonderful. It's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it genuinely, especially considering, as I said, I imagine it's not exactly pleasant to dwell on a lot of this.
No,
for you.
not even a little bit.
And if there is anything you would like me to omit from the board for privacy or comfort, I'm happy to keep things off.
Just, I would say it's okay to talk, like, put stuff up there about, in general, like, ritual shenanigans. Just maybe keep my name off of it.
Of course, yes. Yes. No problem at all. I feel like I feel like Vast would have already asked this, but it would kill me if I didn't, because I sort of promised. You don't know anything about Kalia, do you?
I didn't know you knew her name.
Not much. Just Vast asked me to look into her, and
I mean,
what happened.
myself, her, and Vast all grew up together.
See,
I know she was really curious about a lot of things that ended up getting her scolded and talked to quite a bit, but I don't know why they would have took it that far.
I see. There's certainly a pattern of asking too many questions and getting cut down about it.
Yeah, the Avocane really don't like questions.
So it seems. I imagine that's why I became a bit of a target for a while there.
Yeah, that tracks.
Anyway,
Is
as
it
I said, we're
safe
past
for
that,
you
I
to
hope.
be? Is it safe for you to
I
be
don't
doing this?
think so. Not in the slightest, from what I've gathered. But at this point, I feel like it's also safe if... It's not exactly safe if I don't. I mean, the obelisk is not fulfilling its purpose, from my understanding.
I still
And if
haven't
we
even
don't-
seen it.
I've seen it once, but I've been caught up on some things. And if we don't figure out an answer to it, I don't know how much longer any of us will be safe, exactly.
Hmm.
But, hopefully we can find some kind of answer. That would be best case scenario.
Yeah. If it's okay, I think I'm a bit done with answering questions.
No, yes, of course. I wouldn't want to press you further.
I'll.
Would you be
I
I feel like I haven't
okay?
answered as many that you came to me for.
Would you be okay with answering a question entirely unrelated to all of this?
Sure.
How is Mojave doing? Since you said you knew them.
They're okay. Wings healing. Very kind.
Yes, they have. That is probably one of their defining traits. Thanks.
We, yeah. I would venture that we have the potential to be pretty close friends. So, if that tells you anything.
Yes. It seems I have a lot to overthink. There's a lot of new information coming in from that corner.
Yeah.
And I believe, Virgil,
Sorry,
you
because
owe me some more explanation. Not necessarily right
Yes,
now,
I
but
feel
eventually
like
I might
I do.
I might need
Yes.
a spreadsheet to follow all of these things.
Spreadsheet would have to be a good idea. I should... The mind map is very helpful for me understanding things and getting ideas out there, but I feel as though perhaps writing it down to be more easily digestible for other people might be useful. A more linear telling of events.
Well, certainly can't hurt.
No, well, thank you for answering questions, Alma, and I hope even if I don't have too many answers, I was able to give some information on where we stand with void sickness.
Yeah, no. I have more thoughts in my brain than I did before, so...
Yeah. You mentioned you live on one of the lower islands.
Yeah, actually I live just below and a little further behind the library.
Oh, I see. Well, if you do notice anything that is particularly out of the ordinary when it comes to void sickness, please let me know. It would be very useful.
Yeah, I live down there, so I can keep a passive eye on things.
Yes, that would be very helpful.
If you live down there, then perhaps you should be careful, just in case. If the theory is true that location of the islands has an effect on this void sickness, then you might want to be quick on the fly in case anything happens.
Well,
it's true.
Thankfully that's something I'm used to doing, so...
Well then.
You know, being on the run for 10 years is a real good way to make sure you've got your go pack ready.
I could certainly relate.
I am not going to ask. I am not going to ask. I'm not going to ask why everyone is good about running away. I feel like it's going to make me make my sparse sleep at night much calmer if I don't ask why everyone has run away from people before.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yes. I was going to say I could tell you about Giovanni, but perhaps that's for another day. I know I offered everyone coffee, but I actually feel in the mood for something a little bit more calming back up at the library cafe.
Okay.
Would either of you want to join me there, or I suppose
Yes,
if you
sure.
were done answering questions, I would want to drag you along.
Arguably, them following along would not necessarily mean they'd have to answer more questions.
That's
true.
Yeah, I mean, we could
I realize the way I said that made it sound like I would keep questioning you. I apologize.
I mean, I could hang out.
Yeah, if you would like to,
I'm trying
take a
to
break from
make
looking for books.
I'm trying to make more friends, and I am
this is
an
good.
awkward
I was-
individual. Ah!
Goodness gracious.
Oh god, I relate to that heavily. Oh god, there
Yes,
are a lot of mobs
likewise.
around here.
Where?
Virgil, are you particularly attached to these cornflowers, or am I okay to grab some?
No, if you would like to grab them, sure. Are you all right, Elwood?
Yes, I'm excellent.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I be?
You just no, nothing. Just before. When, it's not important.
Oh,
Um,
he was drowning.
oh
was
no! Who? What?
What?
I got him. I got him.
Oh,
I got him.
goodness
He's fine.
gracious, a bird.
Oh no!
Goodness
A
gracious.
kiwi.
No, the poor
Goodness
kiwi.
gracious.
It's okay. He's fine.
He's fine
I
now.
saved him.
They do not have very good self-preservation. Considering they didn't used to have predators, and then they didn't develop a sense of safety.
They're not. They're not exactly the most agile creatures.
Mirasol always thought they were adorable. Sorry.
Who?
Oh,
Sorry?
Mo and mine's younger sibling.
I did hear the name.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't know. I wasn't aware that was sort of the relationship you had with Mojave.
It's not like I said it now, did I?
No,
So
I
no fault of
didn't
your own.
want to press.
No, it's all good.
Hmm.
Loads to think about. Loads to think.
Yes, I suppose there is. God, I
Hello
always
there.
forget how long. Hello, hello.
Goodness.
I always forget how long these stairs are. I built them for Rune, and then I don't actually know how often Rune uses them. Now that he has a grappling hook, and the glider.
Well, I mean,
so
they're still good.
yes, they're quite useful. They're
If you
just long.
don't mind getting dizzy.
Oh,
not
there's
really.
a man.
Yes, there is
Sorry?
an ostrich. Yes, there is an ostrich.
That is my brother's. I wish I could explain Oliver or why he's still here.
He is
doesn't pay rent.
disconcerting.
He's just there.
He doesn't pay
All the time.
rent.
He has tried to eat my notebook at several occasions, so I tried to.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh, it's
I
hardly
suggested at
your
one point we
fault.
make him his own enclosure, and he has not gotten one.
Yes,
Um,
maybe that should happen. That seems something
yeah,
you
sorry,
should
this is the
ask your brother
cafe.
about.
Oh, there's someone. Okay, there's someone not here currently, but it seems to be occupied again.
Okay.
People seem to keep living in my library, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, I mean, you do have a bunch of sleeping bags and stuff upstairs.
Yes, there's a roost, I suppose.
You make it comfy, people are gonna want to stay.
That's true, I suppose. I just am not used to people being around. Can I just anyone in some cake? I sort of. I don't
Are
actually
you
know
telling
who
me I
makes
could have
it.
come here? Okay. Thank God.
Sorry,
I was about to say, are you
Oh.
telling me that I could have come here to learn the recipe for this thing?
I mean, I don't have the recipe, but I'm sure. I mean, it's a library. I'm sure there's a recipe in a book somewhere.
I've definitely
I figured it out.
I've definitely seen
Oh.
some cookbooks up in the section that I was sorting earlier.
I see.
I figured it out the hard way.
Oh,
Trial and error then.
I mean, I'm sure it tastes.
Uh-huh.
Well, as long as you didn't
Yeah.
mix up your sugar with sand, then I don't think you've ruined
Is
it too
this a
badly.
common mistake?
It is a
that
Mirasol
a-
mistake.
Oh.
In retrospect, it might have been a prank.
Mm.
I cannot recommend it.
Mm.
Good to know.
Noted. Yes, I will try to keep sand away from the kitchen. Although I admit
I
I
wonder
don't
if
exactly
that's what-
cook much.
I wonder if that's what Rune's putting in his baked goods. Because he also said he's not good at cooking.
Oh, good, great
I've
heavens!
been informed. I'll be honest. Most of the time I've spent living at Runes, it has been. Oh, are you okay?
What are you doing?
I'm taking damage so I can eat the
So you
cake.
can eat the
I want to eat the cake. I want to eat the cake. I want to eat the cake.
That is certainly one way to go about it.
Well, I'm not going to go run in circles for an hour. The last thing I ate was fish.
That's fair.
Could have asked one of us to pinch you or hit you. That's what Mojave usually had me doing. Which objectively was a stupid choice on
that
their
tracks.
part. Mirasol's punches hurt arguably way more than mine.
That does track for Mo, though.
It definitely
You haven't mentioned
does.
Mirasol before now.
Yes, it's complicated, and the more I think on it, the more I probably have some apologizing to do. That is for a later time.
I see. That is very fair. But yes, well, it's nice to, as you said, try to make some more friends. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. if you have any other questions or end up finding anything else out, I do live, in fact, below and a little that way to the library.
I'll come look for you and let you know. Certainly.
Okay.
It's nice to have some more people to share the research with now. It for a while was just sort of me fumbling and going a little bit insane by myself. So it is nice to be able to talk
now
to
you've
people
got
about it.
Rune and Vast and me. So.
Very honored to be in the company of all of you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go
we
home
went
now.
real quiet. I was like, do we have any more lore to do? I was like,
I think I'm gonna go home now.
that's fine. I'll see you
Alright.
later. It was very nice to meet you, Alma. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was nice to meet you both.
Yes, indeed. Well, I will see you around. I'll come and let you know if I find anything out.
Yeah.
If you see
Yeah.
Mojave, never mind. I'll take care of them myself.
Okay.
I'm glad they have you though.
I'm glad I have them. I'll see both of you later.
Yes, and see you
See
around.
you. Fly safe.
I will. Thank you.
So, I believe there's a lot of catching up that I need to
Yes.
fill you in with.
Definitely. Goodness gracious.
How
I
about...
thought today was going to be calm. I was going to sort books, and I get bombarded with new information, which I don't usually mind. It's just not usually reality-shattering new information.
Yes, that is fair. How about a deal? You don't have to, but if you would like, I can tell you about these revelations, and you can fill me in on his situation with Mojave a little bit more.
That sounds acceptable.
Yes, perhaps we should sit down. I feel like this might take a while.
Certainly.